Hey guys, Kat here from Standing Stone, and I am at the 2025 NAVHDA Invitational, and Charles is running a few dogs for us this week, as well as I get the opportunity to talk to Angelo Iacomini. He will be running Freda here Friday or maybe Saturday, kind of depends on what she decides to do heat cycle wise, but we're going to talk a little bit today about the journey that got Angelo here, and it started way before Freda, which she's coming on for, but that's about the relationship time that we've known each other for 5 years now.
A little bit before that with Porsche.
Yes, and through Patreon with Ethan, I believe.
Yeah,
the
my
initial
grandson found you guys.
Thank goodness for the little kids that are constantly on YouTube and checking out things.
Yeah, he wanted to see puppies one day, and we were preparing to get Porsche, and he wanted to see puppies like Porsche, so we put in puppies, GSP puppies, and you guys came up, and I don't know, you may remember the video you had. It was just you had like a pen up, and you just had puppies in there, and you had a video on it.
Probably in our kitchen, I believe.
Yeah.
So those puppy videos are so cute, and sometimes we'll just throw a puppy cam up there and capture some cute content, and people that have puppies from that litter like to watch it. People that don't and are just looking for cute German Shorthaired puppies also like to watch it, apparently.
Yeah.
So that's how you found us to begin with, and that was prior to getting Porsche. And even before Porsche, though, you had Gunner, right?
Yes, Gunner. I got Gunner in 2016.
Okay.
He was the first dog. I had another short hair earlier, and my father owned short hairs when I was younger. So I was familiar with them, and I loved the breed. But he was the first one that I got into NAVHDA and the AKC stuff and all that with.
Yeah, and you brought him to the Invitational as well.
Yep, we went out to New Mexico, and he passed out there. And yeah, it was it's just an adventure.
Absolutely. And you got Gunner, you did all the things with him, went out to the Invitational, passed with him, and then Porsche was your next short hair puppy. And it's unfortunately a sad story, but it also is how we found each other, basically.
Right. Good came out of bad, I guess, right?
Yeah.
She got a foreign body infection in her chest. She was only about 14 months old, and it progressed, and we did surgery, had it removed and everything like that. But unfortunately, the infection came back and took her life when she was about 15 or 16 months old.
Yeah, it's a life cut way too short. And unfortunately, we have our own experiences with those horrible foreign bodies, and not all of them have a positive outcome, unfortunately. But however, you reached out to us, or were through Patreon, and we knew about the situation, and we had a litter of puppies that we were able to get you on, Freda, which was from our Quest and Thunder litter, our first Quest and Thunder litter, and Freda was the puppy for you out of that, and that is also the litter that we kept Legacy and Doc from. And both Doc and Freda are running at the 2025 invite this year. So,
pretty nice.
Yeah, it's
actually
exciting times.
Porsche was an excellent pointing dog. I mean, really had a lot of point in her, but a little lacking on the retrieve side. Like, it wasn't her priority. And I was working with Ethan through Patreon on her force fetch, and we were doing like a once a week video. And he would watch me and show me tell me what I was doing wrong, what I was doing right. And so that's how he got familiar with Porsche. And then she passed away, and I contacted him that she had passed away. And a couple days later, he reached out to say he was sorry. And he said to me, "Oh, are you going to get another dog?" And at that point, you're like, "No, I'm never getting another dog." Right? You're so upset. But he said, he's told me, he says, you did a lot of work with that dog. You're going to want another dog eventually. And then he put me in contact with you. And when my grandson was watching those puppy videos, he went, he'd go to bed at night. And one night we were sitting there. It was during COVID, so it was like the craziness, right? Sitting around doing nothing. And I said, well, let me check these guys out a little bit more, not just these puppy videos. And it was that time when Thunder and Quest were both puppies and you guys were doing those videos. And those were the days you were putting out like a video a day.
Oh my gosh.
It was
so
crazy. Yeah. But it was good for me and during COVID because I was getting to watch a video every day and I was watching Thunder and Quest grow up. And so when Ethan put me in touch with you and we started talking, you started mentioning litters. You went through the first litter and I don't remember what it was. And the second litter you said was Quest and Thunder. And I was like, you don't really have to say anything else. I said, that's what I want because that's what I've been watching. And I know their progression. I remember watching Thunder get steady in like one video.
Yeah.
That crazy one video. I was like, yeah, that's what I want. And so you guys were gracious enough to set that up. Yeah. I'm not the most patient person when it comes to getting a puppy.
Well, and it worked out. It actually worked out. Like you said, out of bad came good. And Freda worked out really well for you. She is a very good blend of Quest and Thunder. She's got the bird dog, which Quest excels at, and the retrieve desire that Thunder has. And so you got your puppy. And the other piece of this is you put so much into your dogs. You put a ton of time in, and you guide with them as well.
Yep.
So they gain a ton of experience. But I remember you've come to every single one of the Lone Stone seminars, whether it's in New York or in Kansas. And then also you came out twice this year. Yep. We had another seminar and you came out twice and all the way from New York, which is how long of the drive?
It's right around 24 hours, before 24 and between 24 and 26, depending on how much you stop.
Yeah, right? it's a full day's worth of just driving. And you've come out to seminars and you've been the transport for dogs for both Bob and for Ethan, because throwing them on a delivery van or throwing them in a plane, it's not always something we like to do. And when we have somebody that is coming both directions, it has worked out really well. We're like, hey, Angelo, if you're coming to the seminar, you want to bring Quinn out or you want to take Thunder over? And it's worked really good to help get dogs back and forth. Because it's nice to have those demo dogs so we can show some of the advanced stuff to people that maybe are starting out with a younger dog and where they can get to. So you've been to all these seminars. And I remember, I swear it was one of the seminars, Ethan tried to buy Freda back from you. He's like, hey, how much you want for that dog?
It was the first Lone Stone that was out in Kansas. We took her out and I've never been honestly, I've never been sure about how serious he was.
Oh, serious. He's like, how much you want for her? We wouldn't offer if we didn't, and not that we would ever expected you to be like, yeah, sure, take her back. But just letting you know, she's a really dang nice dog and would totally have been happy had she been one that I kept. So
right. I feel sometimes I wish I could do more with her. Because she would definitely excel down in Texas with Charles or something like that. I mean, she's just got so much drive and she'll just go forever.
Yeah, she's very Thunder in that aspect. He doesn't want to quit. He wants to work all day, every day if you give him the opportunity. But then he's a great family house dog too. But the minute he thinks there's an opportunity to work, he's like, I'm in.
Yeah, that's Freda. She's good. I think you actually made a comment. I had gone and got her out of the truck at one of the seminars I went to this year, and we were sitting in the tent. It was hot in the afternoon, and she was just sitting there chilling. And she said, you made a comment about how calm she could be also, and that's not the dog you bring into the field. You wouldn't.
But you want both. You want both.
She has that on-off switch really good, and it's getting better now that she's she's 3 years, 10 months. So
I kind of feel like that 3-year number is a very across the board maturity number for dogs. At 3, they typically are just more mentally sound and more mature. And so they don't get as amped up about the little things because they got the experience to know when to get amped up and when to just chill.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's going to benefit her this year.
Well, because you ran her at the Invite last year.
Yes.
And unfortunately, no pass. But if we're talking about a year ago, she wasn't even 3.
Yeah.
She was 2.5.
2
years,
10 months.
Yeah. And we talk a lot too, and we've talked in the past about when dogs are ready to test. And yes, we've tested dogs younger, through masters and stuff. But I really feel from that mental maturity standpoint that 3 is a resounding maturity number, and they're able to handle the pressure of the day, because today is going to be a big day. Dogs running today. Freda's running Friday. They're big days. You're spending an hour in the field with a brace mate, backing, honoring, retrieving.
Yeah, it's not an easy test. Everybody that participates is putting in a lot of work to get here. It really wasn't planned for her to do it at 2. What happened was Gunner passed in New Mexico, but the friend that I went out there, she 2 dogs didn't pass for her in New Mexico. So when we came back, she wanted to go back the following year. She had already been qualified for Ohio the following year. So we got together and we did a lot of training all year. Well, of course, Freda was with us. And one of the things I learned from you guys at that seminar we were talking about earlier, where Ethan was trying to buy her back, was that you guys run your dogs in braces all the time.
We don't just wait for the Invite. We start it young.
Yeah. So when we came back and we were doing all this work to get her dogs qualified, Freda started doing braces with them. And she was doing really well at it. And she wasn't signed up for a test at all. And our chapter had their test and somebody dropped out. And somebody called, the test director called me and said, "Are you interested in running Freda?" Because we had trained together a couple weeks earlier. And I said, "Yeah, she'll prize." I said, "I don't think she'll get a prize 1, but she'll prize." And she went in and killed it. She did really well.
And got a prize 1.
And got her prize 1. And then, of course, at that time, I was like, well, I'm not going to take her to Invitational. She's too young. But then you start thinking.
You start training again and you start working on the things again.
Right. You can't be like, why not? Let's give it a shot. Right. And so we gave it a shot last year. And I mean, she came close. I mean, she did really well. Really, it was more handler. I really didn't do a good job that day. It was probably one of my worst days. I just, first I was overconfident. Like, she had been training so well. I thought she would, and it's like she realizes, and I've learned this now. She's very observant, very smart, and she realizes when I let down my guard. The only time she's messed up in a UT test is when I've let down my guard, because I'm like, oh, she's fine. I don't have to pay attention to her. Let her do her thing, and she's going to do it. And she notices, and she's like,
what can I get away with?
Yeah. So I went into it last year, and I was very relaxed because I really thought it was going to be pretty much a cakewalk. Honestly, I was hoping to get a perfect score or a max score. That was really more my goal than passing. And that sounds crazy right now, but I'm just being honest. That was what I was thinking, because she was training so well. And then when she went out in the field and she decided to go a little crazy on me, and she honored beautifully. She pointed beautifully, worked the field beautifully, did everything except every time that gun went off, she just took right off. I tried wowing her, yelling at her, everything. And it just
wheels fell off a little bit on the setting.
She just said, "Not today, Dad." And I probably, one of my mistakes was to over test her. I also tried to run Master Hunter all last year too. And she did get 3 legs of her Master Hunter. But in the process, she started realizing more and more, because the wheels started falling off at the master stuff too.
Yeah.
She was realizing that, hey, we're at this test.
Little less control in these tests.
He can't do nothing right now. So, and I think it just happened to culminate here, and that was it.
And when you talk about, you ran Gunner, he passed, you ran Freda, those are the only 2 dogs you run at the Invite.
Yes.
So from an experience standpoint, you don't have a lot either. No. So it's every time you have the opportunity to run a dog, whether it's at the Invite or a utility test or masters, you're gaining additional experience, as well as coming to the seminars, gaining additional experience, not only to have the opportunities to do things with your dog that challenges them, running trace work, not just brace work, but also you're becoming more experienced as a handler and thinking ahead and going, well, if she does this, how am I going to react? How am I going to handle it? Which will allow you on game day, if you will, to not be, you shouldn't be relaxed, Angelo. You should be nervous. You should be like, I got to be on my toes.
Yeah, I know that now.
So now you can be aware and you can be watching her, reading her and going, I'm going to make a handling judgment here so that I can make sure that the wheels don't fall off.
Right. And you need to know when to make that correction. Your timing on the correction is really important to make it. Right.
And we got to see her prepping, running twice this year at the seminar, the Lone Stone seminar, and then the next seminar that we had, which was the Versatile Dog seminar. And she did really, really well. You could see her thinking a lot, which is good to be thinking and almost questioning when to make a decision. Be like, yes, you should question when to make a decision. It's not your decision to make. It's mine.
It's right. Yeah. Exactly. The first seminar, the Lone Stone seminar, actually, she ran with Doc and Thunder. So that was cool. That was a really cool experience to see the 3 of them out there. And then the next seminar, we ran another trace, and she did well. Ethan does a good job of. Ethan and Charles do a great job, and one of the reasons I love the seminars and keep coming back over and over is they know how to press the buttons. And in the second seminar, I've done a lot of steady to flush. But a lot of times it's me training with my wife, who's a tremendous help, and I need to say that. I mean, we wouldn't get as far as we do if she couldn't help me all the time. She's gotten really good. Like, she's my collar person. Like, she carries the remote and she works the collar. Well, because it's just me and her a lot of times training, so I'm gunning.
Yeah, it's a lot to handle.
Yeah.
Unless you're Ethan, who can handle with one hand and shoot with the other while looking at the dog.
I can't do
me neither. I can't do that. He's crazy, but
yeah. So actually, Charles threw up a bird, and she stopped beautifully on the flush, but then Ethan shot the bird. I think it was Ethan shot the bird, and the bird went down and she broke. And
threw something different at her that she hadn't seen.
You're right. I mean, because it's hard for me to do all that at the same time. So, just going to the seminars and looking for different things. And he found other ways to press her a little bit on her honoring.
I think we threw out some cubby flushes with when we ran Doc and Thunder and her together, where 2 birds went up and then had to have a memory bird because 2 birds got shot. And then what are we going to do? Do we remember both are out there? Things like that.
Yep. And
Doc struggled with that because he was the one that got that covey and he forgot that other bird was out there.
Right.
Yeah. So, but Thunder didn't. He didn't forget. He didn't forget any retrieve options he gets.
Yeah, he's got a couple years on everybody.
He does.
So that's always really cool that you guys can, find those things, because I go as far as I can go with what I know to do, and I try to challenge myself, and I watch a lot of videos. I go to a lot of other clinics also, and try to come up with different ways to push them. But you guys work with so many dogs that you guys know how to get them into situations that are different than they're used to. And that makes them think and learn.
Well, that's one thing that I really respect about you, Angelo, is you take it all in. I mean, you've gone to lots of different seminars, not just our seminars. You watch our videos, but you watch other videos. You listen to other podcasts. You train with different groups, NAVHDA groups, bringing Jen out, your wife, which she's gone to seminars with you. She's come to the Invite with you. She is a trooper, and she's your, like you said, right-hand man. She helping you, and she's getting better as the time goes by. And that's awesome.
Plants birds for me now, and it all started at the first Lone Stone seminar. We were training Gunner and for the Invite, and the first Lone Stone seminar in New York was on, and she came with me, and I was joking around with Bob and saying that, you know, she's got to learn how to, you know, throw ducks and stuff, and Bob took it as like a challenge, and he's like, okay, we'll teach her how to throw ducks. And she went from not even wanting to touch a duck to touching them with gloves to throwing ducks and stuff. And now she plants, you know, she's my bird planter. She goes out and plants most of the birds for me, and then I can concentrate on getting Freda ready and stuff, and it saves time and it saves energy. And yeah, so she's come a long way, and like I said, her timing, you know, she can stand back and watch everything going on, and she can actually, like, you know, even if you're not gunning and you're out there out front trying to flush a bird, you can't watch that dog all the time, right? You're trying to watch the bird, whereas she can stand back, and now she knows. And from coming to the seminars with you guys, and she listened and understands, you know, when she's supposed to do stuff, she gets a good perspective on it, and she can really get the timing. And you say all the time how the timing is what the difference is between a so-so trainer and a trainer, right? So
yeah, that's awesome that she's able to keep Freda honest when you don't always have your eyes on her, and being able to read the situation and read the dog. She's come a long way. I guess her next dog is on the way, and then she can train it up and go to the Invite with it. That would be amazing.
I keep telling her that, and she's a little hesitant. Actually, we trained yesterday. We did a little short training with Freda just to get something, and I pulled Gunner out of the truck afterwards because he's been sitting there listening to gunshots go off and whining and upset that he doesn't get to participate anymore. And I put a bird out for him, and I said, you handle him. So she handled. He was more confused than she was, because he was like, Dad's here, so why is Mom handling me?
That the way that you explained, like, here, handle this completely finished dog, but, you know, as a VC, is he a master hunter too? Yeah, we were talking about, he's like the most titled dog, right?
Yeah, he's a master. He's a VC, master hunter. He's got his GSPCA RDX title, his retrieving title. There was something else, but he's pretty titled. Well, he was my first, so
I had to try out.
I did everything with him, you know. He even did a little bit of novice rally stuff.
Okay. Well, that is the process that we typically take when we are working with Ethan took when he was becoming a trainer, is handling finished dogs. Right. They know all the things, they do all the things, and it gives you some grace as a new handler if you don't have perfect timing, or you question what you should be doing, because they kind of do it for you. They're kind of on autopilot. Sure, they can get sloppy, and then they'll test a little bit.
On the shot yesterday.
Yeah, no, test a mom. But that's a great way for her to become more confident as a handler, and to kind of train in reverse, if you will. So does she go hunting with you too?
We're still working on the shooting part. She's got her hunting license. She came up to New Hampshire with me 2 years ago, and came Maine with me last year. I call her my casual observer.
Okay.
So, you know, we're always hunting the grouse woods. We're in the Northeast, and it's tough shots. It's not the place you want to learn how to shoot.
Yeah, she's gonna have to come out to South Dakota and do some pheasant hunting.
We talked about that actually, because you were talking about you have the
women's hunt. Yeah.
So she carried the gun in New Hampshire, and she had a couple shot opportunities, but never pulled the trigger. So
She'll get there.
She'll get.
You've seen the progression just with touching, throwing ducks, and handling the dogs, and it's a progression. So if you haven't grown up hunting your whole life, you kind of have to kind of wade in and get comfortable.
Yeah, and she had no experience. Her family didn't. Do
so
a ton.
It's awesome that you drug her along, and now she's along for the ride and enjoying it just as much. So, and that you also have the support of somebody that's there to help you train, because training these dogs to this level, I don't know a single person that could do it by themselves. Completely by themselves, because even if you're prepping for just the NA test, having somebody help you with the tracks and the drags, it's definitely something that doing it by yourself is near impossible. So having a team, whether it's just you and your partner or a NAVHDA chapter or a community or the seminars, to be able to do all of that. And you do a lot by yourself too. And you guide with your dogs as well.
We guide for Orvis in Sandinova in Millbrook, New York. And so we guide there. And then I guide at a couple other preserves once in a while when they need me. So.
Which continues to add to the experience and your handling opportunities and things like that. But you couldn't do it all without those extra pieces. You couldn't get to these levels of testing with these dogs. And just having a dog that is super handleable and enjoyable to hunt with as well. Yes, the titles are great, and that's ultimate goals here. But at the end of the day, she's still going to be one heck of a dog. And if you still want to get rid of her, I know that Ethan and I would take her. So,
but you could have her for a little while while she's.
Send her down to Texas, right?
I would love to. I would love to see her have a year down there, and I think she'd enjoy it a lot. And it would. I do this for me. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I like to look up at the ribbons too, but I do it because, and this is what I love about Freda so much. She loves what she's doing. I mean, Gunner loves what he's doing too.
And
both of my dogs love what and that's what I love the most about it, is, watching their excitement when they hunt, when they're guiding, it's just, they're just so excited to get out there and do it. I mean, everybody should love their job. That's what I tell all my clients when I guide.
Yeah.
I said, everybody should love their job as much as these two love their job.
And they do. And even if Jen's not hunting, I know that when she goes with you, she gets to watch it. And it is, if you've never watched really good bird dogs that are obedient do their thing, it is a very impressive thing to watch. People just, their jaws drop when they see these dogs pointing, backing, retrieving, standing steady to wing shot and fall, making 100-yard blind across the water. It's not an easy thing to get the dogs there, and to watch a dog do it well, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is. It is. And that's not to backtrack for too long here, but that's how Jen started. Was one day I was training and I couldn't do something because it was just me. And I went back to the house and she happened to be home, and I said, hey, can you help me for just a little while with Gunner? And she's like, all right. So she got dressed and put on the proper clothes, because she ends up out in the field with flip-flops a lot. So
don't we all? Or Crocs if you're retriever guys.
Exactly. So she got some boots on and stuff and went out there, and I had put out a couple quail. And he's, I release him and he starts doing his thing. And before that, she had really never seen him other than yard work.
Right.
And he goes, and he ends up, like, the wind's blowing kind of the wrong way. He kind of does, and he does one of them hook shot. Points. And she's like, what was that? And I'm like, that's what he does. And we did like 3 or 4 quail that day. And after that, it was like, all I had to say was,
"Well, you want to come help me?"
Yeah. And she was like hooked.
Yeah.
You get hooked.
Yeah. It's, like I said, a beautiful thing, and it's impressive. And you're like, I want to see them do that more. And when you get 2, 3 dogs lined up pointing, backing, it's like boom, boom, boom. You're like, whoa, it's a cool thing to watch. So I'm so glad that she enjoys it, because it makes it easier when you say, hey, we need to drive all the way out to Iowa for this invitational. She's like, let's go.
Well, she's 100% responsible for the coming down to the second seminar.
I know she reached out to me too.
Yeah. I mentioned it. I said, oh, they're having another seminar. I'd love to go down. And, I said, well, it's a lot for us to, go all the way down. And, so I left it kind of at that. And, a couple days later, she told me that she reached out to you and set it all up and I could go down. And then she was able to join us, and which was even made it cooler. And
absolutely,
it's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome that you have her support. And I know with Freda, the plan is to run her, pass her. That's everyone's plan. But we were kind of joking at the beginning here, saying, oh, she's going to run Friday or maybe Saturday, depending on her heat cycle, because she's due to come in any day now, which is also throws a kind of wild card into the mix with females in heat and trying to figure out how to run them and when to run them. At the NAVHDA events, it's usually last dog of the day, or in this situation, last day of the event. So she would move a day, just Friday to Saturday if she does come into heat. But then she's going to get bred for the first time after this event.
Yeah. And obviously she's never been involved in this before, but I've never had a dog that I bred before, and having you guys support to do it is tremendous. So we'll
an exciting new venture with
another little puppy out of her. And if the puppy ends up exactly like her, that would be great. But they're all a little different anyway. And but just to have a puppy out of a dog that I've raised,
done everything with, taken to such high levels, and is a very amazing dog in and of herself. And I believe the plan is to breed her to Robert Ellison's dog Chief. Which that is going to be an amazing pairing. So we bred Quest to Thunder twice, and that's what produced Freda, Doc, Legacy. And then we bred Quest to Chief twice. And we kept Bet and Duel, and they're very nice puppies. They're younger, of course. And then now it would be Freda to Chief, which we know would be a very similar but different blend of those dogs that have all been kind of part of that, those breedings in the past. So it's going to be looks cool on paper for sure with the pedigree. And if they're anything like their parents, both, dogs have been to the invite a couple times now. We're hoping for the best for Freda, and going to make some pretty nice puppies.
Yeah, I got to meet Chief first time the other night, and he's very impressive.
Yeah, and he reminds me of his grandpa Nix and his daddy Shooter quite a bit. So kind of a cool dog. You see hints of Shooter in him, and then you see hints of Nix, and you're like, I know where you got that from.
I'm excited about it. Nervous, but excited.
First time dad parent or whatever. Yeah, dad dog. Dog dad?
Something like that.
Something like that, exactly. So, well, Angelo, it's been great talking to you. I always love seeing you at the seminars, catching up with you on live streams and things like that. And I wish you the best of luck, you and Freda. Hopefully we both have a good rest of the invite, and we can have something to talk about more.
We can complete the conversation on the next YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. Be like, and this is how it went.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see you in the next video.